A win-win situation? Seriously? Sorry. I've had an idea, somewhat like this, but not exactly, because I just feel that you don't know enough about the topic to actually make these kind of decisions. I apologize for saying, and I don't normally do this, and I don't normally like give my opinions to people before they before or even if they don't want them. But for one, I'd like to say that innocence is subjective. There's no possible way to actually prove guilt beyond a refutable doubt. Seriously, and two, you are correct about overpopulation. But one of the reasons why there is an upsurge in crime is because it was deemed unethical to make work parties out of prisoners. Meaning, it is against, if to put someone up to something against their will, what even if they've broken the law, they still have rights as a human being in America. Not foreigners in America in some cases, or terrorists, quote unquote, but if you have a social security number and you pay taxes, or fuck, you don't even have to, if you were born here, you do not, you have certain rights. And that's one of the things why I felt it was most preposterous, because now you're actually pushing someone against their will to ingest experimental chemicals and subject them to harsh treatment. I mean, yes, I do feel for the animals, but too, there is something in human life. And there's something in animal life too, but I believe that you're slightly mistaken, because they don't test massive amounts of chemicals on animals. There's only 3 or 4 types of animals that are used to conduct medical experiments to try to get to a possible conclusion to solve problems in humans. There are pigs, there are mice, and there's another type of rodent that is commonly not used, but that's about it. There's pigs and mice. Your innocent animals. Mice that we exterminate, that live in a house. Pigs that most of Americans consume on a daily basis. Okay. I don't know, you said it was a win-win situation. And I don't see necessarily how anybody wins. There's a few things that I also had a problem with, like pedophiles don't use guinea pigs, not stereotypically. If you like little kids, then you like little kids. Doesn't necessarily mean you like a rodent to be in your asshole. And it just seems that your rant is somewhat unjustified, because you're calling these people sick. And there are some violent crimes, yes, that are entirely sick, but who are you to say? And if you were put in a place of power, you'd have to become a lot more knowledgeable about the entire system. It's like Bush doesn't make any laws. He doesn't have the ability to make laws. Bush doesn't have the ability to do a lot of the things he's doing, but that's how our system is running now, unfortunately. But one of the main flaws that I find is that you're throwing chemicals at people, and you're saying that they should be subjected to treatments for cures for cancer, and then they would have to have cancer to begin with, unless you are saying that, which I think is really fucked up and really wrong, if you're actually telling me that you should give someone AIDS to try to cure them of AIDS. Really? I mean, I would support volunteer testing. if someone is already suffering, of course, they could volunteer, and then they could serve their community by their well-being. But I mean, my views of the prison system and how it should be run are completely opposite from what I just said. But this is what's wrong with your argument. I mean, I believe in harsher punishments for lesser crimes. Fucking like a 5-strike system on like parking violations, or a 3-strike system in like carrying a weapon that you intend to use on someone. Like, this happens twice, there's like no pass go, like you get the death penalty kind of stuff. But the institution of prison is supposed to be, was created to be almost a rehabilitation. Slowly edge them back into society. Punish them. Make them work by doing a service to their community, by building roads, building railroads, doing things like this, running libraries. There are things that they can do to serve their community rather than be a guinea pig that the pedophile is obviously not going to want in his ass. So, I don't know what else to say. It's just, I rarely ever get pissed off listening to someone, because I respect people's opinions. But there was just something about the way you presented yourself that pissed me off. And it hasn't happened before, and I don't ever seeing it happen again, but I'm sorry. I guess I'm done.